The Kansas City Chiefs are staring down the barrel of a season-defining bloodbath on Sunday afternoon, and if they don't come out swinging, this dynasty dream could shatter into 1,000 red and gold pieces. At 5-5, the defending champs are limping into Arrowhead Stadium like a wounded animal, hosting an Indianapolis Colts team that's 8-2 and gunning for their throats with the ferocity of a team that smells Super Bowl blood. Forget the polite pleasantries. This isn't a friendly neighborhood matchup. It's a savage cage fight where the loser gets dragged deeper into the playoff abyss, and the Chiefs are the ones with the target on their backs. A defeat here wouldn't just sting. It would gut punch their fading hopes, leaving them scrambling for scraps in a conference that's already written them off as yesterday's news. ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter didn't mince words on X, laying out the brutal math like a prosecutor in a murder trial. At 5-5, the Chiefs currently are out of the AFC playoffs. This season, they're 0-4 against teams that would be in the playoff field today, with losses to the Broncos, Chargers, Bills, and Jaguars. Today, the Chiefs face the Colts, the AFC's current number 3 seed, and the Texans in Week 14, who are also ahead of KC. With 7 games remaining, some of these upcoming matchups could have significant head-to-head implications. Schefter's tweet hit like a sledgehammer, exposing the Chiefs' Achilles heel in stark, unforgiving detail. They're not just losing. They're getting curb-stomped by the elite, a 0-4 skid against playoff-caliber foes that screams incompetence louder than a sold-out Arrowhead crowd gone silent. The Colts, perched comfortably as the AFC's 3rd seed, aren't some pushover. They're a buzzsaw with Jonathan Taylor churning out record-breaking rushing touchdowns and a defense that's feasting on quarterbacks like Daniel Jones slinging daggers without a hitch. Kansas City can't afford a blink because one more flop and they're not on the outside looking in. They're buried 6 feet under the playoff race. And let's talk about the fire raging inside that locker room, because if there's one thing keeping this Chiefs squad from total collapse, it's the raw, unfiltered accountability pouring out of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, like venom from a cornered snake. These two aren't hiding behind excuses or finger-pointing at coordinators. They're owning the mess with the kind of aggressive introspection that could either ignite a turnaround or burn the whole operation to the ground. Mahomes, the golden boy who's supposed to be untouchable, stepped up after that gut-wrenching Week 11 loss to Denver, ripping into his own arm like it betrayed him personally. "I've got to be better, flat out," he barked in a post-game presser that felt more like a war cry than a mea culpa. "We're not executing when it counts, and that's on me. No more cute plays. We're going back to basics and pounding these fools into submission." It's aggressive, it's real, and it's the kind of fire Chiefs fans haven't seen since the Super Bowl glory days. Mahomes admitting his precision has slipped, that those laser throws are turning into wobbly ducks under pressure, and vowing to treat every snap like a personal vendetta. Kelce, never one to let his quarterback shoulder the load alone, jumped in with both feet, his voice cracking with that signature mix of passion and profanity-laced fury. "This ain't the team we are, damn it," he thundered during a midweek team meeting that leaked like a sieve to the media. "Pat and I, we've been carrying this flag for years, but right now, we're dropping in the mud. The O-line's got holes big enough to drive a truck through. The receivers are ghosting routes like they're allergic to contact. And me? I've been soft in the trenches. No more. Sunday, we're coming out feral. Colts think they're hot stuff at 8-2? We'll choke that hype right out of him." Kelce's not wrong. His yards after catch explosions have fizzled into frustrating short gains, and he's been the first to call out the entire receiving core for dropping balls that should be automatic. Together, Mahomes and Kelce are locked in a brutal pact. No sacred cows, no alibis, just a shared rage that's turning practice into gladiatorial combat. Andy Reid's seen this before. The 2-19 turnaround after a mid-season skid, but this feels meaner, hungrier, like two alphas baring teeth at their own reflection. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the aggression is palpable. Arrowhead's going to erupt like a volcano, 76,000 strong, drowning out any Colts cheers in a sea of crimson fury. But talk is cheap. Execution is the executioner. The Chiefs' defense, led by a snarling Chris Jones who's been terrorizing backfields all year, has to swarm Taylor before he turns Lucas Oil into his personal playground. Nick Bolton's tackling for his supper, racking up stops like a man possessed, while Trent McDuffie shadows Michael Pittman Jr. with the intensity of a bounty hunter. Offensively, it's do or die. Mahomes needs to carve up that Colts secondary like a Thanksgiving turkey, hitting Kelce on slants that turn into house calls and letting Isaiah Pacheco bulldoze for chunk yards. No more conservative calls from Reed. Go for it on fourth, fake punts, whatever it takes to steal this W and claw back into the 7-win territory that keeps playoff dreams flickering. This isn't just a game, it's a reckoning. The Colts are rolling and cocky, with an 8-2 record that's built on blowouts and unbreakable will, but Arrowhead's no picnic. If the Chiefs harness this blame game into controlled chaos, they could flip the script and send Indy packing with bruises and regrets. But falter, and it's lights out, another dagger in a season that's already bleeding out. Mahomes and Kelce aren't whispering sweet nothings. They're roaring for redemption, demanding their teammates match the ferocity or get out of the way. Sunday's kickoff isn't a starting gun, it's a guillotine blade. Win, and Kansas City roars back to life. Lose, and the empire crumbles. No mercy, no quarter, just pure, unadulterated football warfare. The kingdom demands blood, and the Chiefs better deliver. Word count, 612.